Hello. Oh, hello, we're on the air. Welcome to Liquid Lunch, coming at you live. It's Wednesday, May 23rd, 2012, and we're talking about the bed bugs.
Yes.
Right?
There's been so many talks of bed bugs. It makes me uneasy because I like digging for things.
Yeah.
You know?
I do know.
Those good old days are gone.
Well, you were talking about shelves, and I saw some fabulous shelves. You know, shelves are great. What's so good about shelves is you're actually creating space.
It's all about shelves for me.
Yeah. So I've been, I saw some shelves, some fabulous shelves. Somebody threw them out at that church on Shooter Street, and they were just there, and I go, those are nice shelves.
I know.
And I was riding by on my bike, and I thought the bed bug thing came into my mind.
It makes me so uncomfortable, and it comes up because, you used to go to Value Village, looking for just unique pieces. And now that I'm moving, I really want to utilize the shelf thing and create a lot of storage and organize. And it sucks not being able to do it the fun way.
Yeah, the fun way.
And the affordable way.
And the affordable way, for sure.
But we'll see. We'll see. I guess you have to check it well, but
there's got to be a way to deal with these bed bugs.
Chemicals, but they don't make those chemicals anymore.
Well, that's why.
Therefore. And I don't like chemicals, but what do you do sometimes? If you're in that position, even with a kid, I can't imagine. Fine, we shave our heads, that's one thing, but you have to bag and dry and it's months and months of work, and I think you can lose it at that point.
I dealt with the bed bug issue. I went through that. I had one bed bug.
How did that work out?
Well, I caught him. And I got rid of him.
Okay, your 30-second bed bug story, that was good.
It's a long story. No, it's a long story. Okay, here's what it was. So there was this guy. So I'll just say that in the environment where I was, I won't say where it was because we don't want to tarnish.
We don't want to know about the shady places
bugs.
You go to.
But there was a guy there sleeping there, and he was getting these red marks all over his body. And I was not living there, but I was doing stuff there, right? And so so he goes. Then one day he went to the doctor because of these red marks all over his body, right? And then he came back from the doctor. He said, "Oh, good news, Hugh. It's not a skin disease. It's just bed bugs."
Oh,
and I go, "That's not good news."
No, that's not good news.
That's horrible news. That's the worst news.
One of the worst news. And then you got your, fleas. I'm not looking forward to those when Avery starts school.
Fleas? Oh, you mean lice?
Lice.
Yeah.
Lice.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to have everything ready. And it's fun to make stuff at home, too, for all that. It exists. But I just think it's sometimes a little bit more challenging. There's
got to be a better way to deal with these bed bugs. Anyway, so like I said, I had one bed bug. Okay, but I went through I did all the research. I found out all about them, what you need to do to deal with them, and all that kind of stuff.
What did you do? I
did some of that stuff. I don't know about the chemicals. Okay, I looked into I thought there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
Because there are, for example, with if you have mice problems or rodent problems, you can get an ultrasonic device that puts out and just keeps them away. And I know that this works because I've used that technology. And I thought there's got to be a way to deal with bed bugs the same kind of way, either ultrasonic or some sort of a radio wave or something.
I think you need to get on that because it's brilliant. It's got to work. Everything responds to high frequency.
Something or other.
Yeah, exactly. So
I did some research. Actually, I did find and buy some devices.
After one bed bug experience?
I said, even one bed bug is too many.
I love it.
Right? And
I missed you guys, by the way. It's been a couple of months.
And I went out and bought a couple of these devices, and they plug them into the wall.
Okay.
And it's supposedly, although I was not able to say for sure that these deal with bed bugs. They deal with cockroaches. They deal with a lot of the other critters.
Where did you get this? I've never actually heard about it. It's brilliant. Everybody needs it.
Yeah, I know.
The government should be passing it out.
There's a business. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take this out. This is why you have to watch the show live, because you might miss all the good stuff that we take out in editing.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, and then, of course, I never had any more problems with bed bugs, but then a friend of mine did, and I lent these to her, and she never had bed bugs anymore.
So she had serious bed bug problems.
She brought in the exterminators and all that stuff.
So when you plug it in, how long before you see an effect? Like, what does the product promise?
I don't know. It doesn't really promise against bed bugs. It promises against a lot of critters, but it doesn't come right out and say good for bed bugs.
Okay, well, we need to get some.
The bed bugs are the problem because there's no more DDT.
Right.
DDT got rid of the bed bugs, but then of course it started to make animals extinct.
Right.
Right? So that's a problem. That's why all the old beds are made out of metal. And then we didn't have bed bug problem for like a generation, and then they started making beds out of wood again. And that's where the bed bugs like to live.
And the thing is, though, I mean, I don't even understand how to fully get rid of them because they can live for so long, even though there's the suffocation process and all of this.
Yeah, it's a very bad problem.
There has to be a way of coming to the end of it, or else they don't really go away. They can live for a really long time, even if they are.
And even if you bring in the exterminator, they can come back.
It's freaky.
Right? It's a really bad problem.
And I love wood, so it's very... Okay. Well, that's the bed bugs.
The bed bugs. Okay, let's see.
What else is going on under that cap?
I don't know, because we didn't plan on... oh, we should watch this video.
Okay.
You want to watch this video? Well, we should... let's get busy. We could still talk for a couple minutes here, but we got Kojo Damptey here. He's came in from Hamilton.
Awesome.
He came to Canada from Ghana to study chemical engineering, and then he got into music.
That's how it usually works out. That's awesome.
Also, we got Loana Morgan coming on. She's a trainer, coach, author of a book, Empowered for Success. She's coming in.
Right.
And Rob Testa, Reveler and Illusionist will be here.
Cool.
Now, I know what the Illusionist is about. I have this Reveler thing. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. That is.
Okay, what else do you want to talk about? Do you want to... I got some crop circle stuff.
Well,
yeah. Apparently the world was supposed to end on the 20th. What's today?
That was a couple of days ago. You missed out.
There's supposed to be Third World War started. So sometimes these prognostications don't work out.
Sometimes. Are you still? And have you been talking about 2012 lately?
Well, I haven't really been talking about it too much, but there's a lot to think about.
I'm so over it because the other day actually yesterday, someone brought it to me and I was like, wow, I haven't thought about it in so long, and this is the year that everyone's nervous, and yet...
And it seems pretty calm, but it could be the calm before the storm. I don't know.
No, I'm going to put some money on it.
What?
I'm going to put some money on it.
You mean you figure we're going to make it to 2013?
Yeah,
Is it going to be, like people are saying, there's going to be a big false flag terror operation at the London Olympics this summer, right?
Sure.
That was all pre-shadowed in that movie. What was that movie with Guy Fawkes and...
Vendetta?
Yeah, V for Vendetta, thank you. It was all foreshadowed in that movie and all that kind of stuff.
I think we just get sucked into everything, and it's often people's interpretations of what something is, so we just need to kind of trace back and try to figure out what the source of that information is and maybe have better judgment without panicking.
Yes. Better.
Because even the oldies are like, it's just the end of a calendar. Like, get over it. It's just a shift. There's always shifts. We're going through lots of things. We'll make it.
Although the Fukushima thing is still worrisome, even though nobody's talking about it.
Because things get forgotten. There's so much to talk about. There's always so much going on. So we got to kind of pick what we find is important, I guess.
I'll tell you, if that fuel pool in unit number 4 dries up.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at your face.
Well, they're saying, no, so there are some people that know what they're talking about in the nuclear industry say, if that fuel pool dries up, move to the southern hemisphere.
Scary.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and that we do still forget.
I'm trying to set up an interview with, what's his name? Arnie Gunderson. He's the nuclear engineer who is talking openly all about this stuff. He's an advisor to the U.S. nuclear industry, and he knows what he's talking about. I'm trying to set up an interview with him.
See that one.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we see, since we're talking about the 2012 thing, let's watch the crop circle video. You got that one ready to go? Can we have volume in the room too? Because we're going to come back and maybe chat a little bit. We're going to come back with Kojo Damptey, who's up from Hamilton right after this, and maybe we'll talk about the crop circles with him for a bit too. So we'll be right back.
En este programa especial realizaremos un análisis sobre lo que está sucediendo y lo que aparentemente podría suceder en este 2012. Las profecías, las expectativas que se han generado, el 20 de mayo que está a tan solo una semana de distancia y que quedó impreso en al menos 2 figuras en los campos de trigo de Inglaterra. Aquí le presentamos este análisis para empezar este programa especial. Durante el 2005, el 9 de agosto, y luego en el 2011, el 22 de julio, aparecieron estas figuras que señalan al 20 de mayo como una fecha especial, y también, desde luego, al 6 de junio, que representa el tránsito de Venus frente al Sol. Realmente interesantísimo lo que aquí le presenta Fernando Correa.
El 9 de agosto del 2005, en Wylands, Smithy, Inglaterra, apareció esta magnífica formación con símbolos mayas. Trazos exactos que contienen un mensaje de los eventos astronómicos más importantes del 2012. Al centro, el eclipse anular de Sol el 20 de mayo, en el día 0 de los mayas, cuando el Sol se alinea con las Pléyades. Y alrededor 16 plumas que señalan la fecha del tránsito de Venus, 16 días después, el 5 de junio, cuando será visible como un punto oscuro pasando enfrente del Sol. Este importante mensaje se repitió el 22 de julio de 2011 en East Kennet, mensaje que nos habla otra vez de los 16 días entre el 20 de mayo y el 5 de junio del 2012. Al centro, en el día 0, el eclipse anular. Formaciones con mensajes impresionantes que nos hacen poner mucha atención y considerar la posibilidad de que acontecerá algo muy importante durante estos eventos astronómicos. El experto en escritura maya, Sergio Calderón, analizó el significado de las formaciones.
Vimos que en el centro había un eclipse, pero este eclipse está como dentro de un huevo. Entonces, en idioma maya hay 2 maneras de decir 0. Una es mabal, de no hay, y la otra es G, que es que quiere decir huevo, y es el 0 también. El día 20 de mayo es el día 0 zodiacal. O sea, tenemos 13 signos de 28 días que nos dan 364. Y el 365 es el día 0 o fecha cascabel.
Y 16 días después, el tránsito de Venus.
Encontramos 16 plumas alrededor de este día 0. 16 días después del 20 de mayo es el 5 de junio.
2 formaciones con el mismo mensaje. El eclipse en el día 0, el 20 de mayo. Una fecha trascendental que también se relaciona con otras 2 formaciones, también con símbolos mayas.
En 2006 apareció el símbolo Lamat.
El 15 de agosto del 2006 en Wiltshire apareció el sello del 8º día del calendario Solkin, el símbolo de Lamat.
Y luego el 2007 apareció el número 6.
Efectivamente, el 13 de agosto del 2007 apareció en escritura maya el número 6. En el calendario Solkin se combinan 13 numerales con los símbolos de 20 días. Escuche con atención.
Tenemos que el día 20 de mayo es el 6 Lamat.
Resulta notable, estas 2 formaciones se relacionan con otras 2 figuras donde nos reiteran las fechas del 20 de mayo y el 5 de junio. Mensajes que conllevan a estar muy atentos durante los 16 días entre el 20 de mayo y el 5 de junio del 2012. El planeta entero, como nunca antes, se prepara para observar el eclipse anular y el paso de Venus frente al Sol. En tercer milenio, desde agosto del 2005, estamos esperando el desenlace de estos mensajes. Permanecemos a la expectativa en esta investigación. Desde agosto del 2006 estamos a la expectativa por la aparición de este mensaje, que luego se repitió en julio del 2011. Falta muy poco tiempo para saber qué ocurrirá entre el lapso del tiempo del 20 de mayo al 5 de junio del 2012. Nosotros estaremos a la expectativa.
So all we have to do now is figure out what the heck is going to happen between May 20th and June 5th.
Not much.
That's all we need to know now.
Who knows? You go with your gut. I think some people are just sensitive. Just lead your day according to how you feel. That's the best you can do.
Well, we got Kojo here joining us here at the table. Kojo, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So have you been following this Mayan calendar crop circle thing?
It's just in the back of my head, but I just, like she said, I just go about my day, do the best that I can as a human being, and whatever happens, happens.
Okay, all right. So, well, let's talk about your music and your life and stuff like that. You're originally from Ghana, is that right? And when did you come to Canada?
I came to Canada 2001 to pursue an education in engineering, which ended up being chemical. And I've always loved music. Even when I was back home, our traditional music is high life, very rhythmic, lots of drums. So I've always been a fan of music. My parents loved soul music, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway. So I've always been a music fan. And then when I moved to Canada, I still continued to listen to music, more of the hip-hop kind of music, since that was my generation. So that happened, and when I went to university, I had a couple of friends that were playing in bands at the university pub and around Hamilton.
Was this McMaster?
Yeah, at McMaster. So I decided to see if I could learn an instrument, because if these guys were doing it, why couldn't I? So that ended up being learning how to play the piano,
which is easy because it's just pressing buttons, right? It's just a bunch of buttons.
That's what most people would say, but it is difficult. It's easy because you can find the note, but again, you have to find the right notes to play. So
you gotta have a good ear, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So did you kind of learn to play by ear?
Yes,
so
I did.
Not formal training.
No,
right?
no formal training at all. I did it by ear and had help from a couple of friends here and there, and a couple of older people that had formal training, and they kind of gave me little tips here and there. So yeah, and then I played a bit, and here I am now.
Amazing.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what happened to school?
No, I still finished. Yeah, I worked for a bit, but then music took a lot of my time. So I do work, and I still try to squeeze in the music here and there, and I mean, these past years I found out that I'm very artistic, and I like the art. So whether it's music, whether it's photography, music making, video, so I'm trying to put more of my time and effort into arts, especially being a Ghanaian and an African. I don't think in Canada and the United States, African arts is taken seriously. So I think eventually, or long term, I think I would love to at least be that conduit that shows what African art is about, whether it's music or whether it's visual or whether it's theater. So yeah.
That's interesting. So you mentioned the traditional music of Ghana, the high life music, and I also understand there's a kind of a hybrid music from Ghana called hip life, which is sort of hip hop combined with high life.
Yes, there is. So yeah, it's very interesting because again, it's I guess it's a crossbreed, as you said, of the hip hop that younger the younger generation likes. The hard-hitting drums, hard bass, and then a mix of the old school high life.
Well,
so
what's the high life? Like, how would you describe the high life music, the traditional music of Ghana?
Most of it has to do with rhythm. So rhythm is the backbone of the music.
We need a video.
I'm just thinking about something. Actually, you remember the music?
Yes.
You know the music I'm talking about,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yes.
I don't know what kind of music that was.
We'll have to,
I wonder if if Kojo knows about that. Should we ask him about that?
maybe. Go.
Okay. You know that they have that. What's it called? It's
can't remember.
the name of the.
Chopping.
What?
I can't remember. That throws me off when you ask the question.
The religion. There's a kind of music. It sounded so ancient to me. That music was so ancient.
And where did you hear this?
It was from Gabon, and it was to do with the indigenous religion.
Are you talking about Buiti?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And
Ghana, Gabon, separate. Yeah, it's a little bit of
it's more ceremonial, different.
Oh,
like each
okay.
section's gonna have its own.
it was a ceremonial type of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, back to the high life then. It's it's to do with the rhythm.
It's rhythm. It's about storytelling, and yeah, it's just it's sporadic, but it's supposed to put you in like a trance, get you listening, get you focused. So it's all about the rhythm. It's kind of like salsa. It's rhythm based. It's to keep you engaged so that you're not drifting off. So
does it ever get into the idea of sacred music, or is it more of just fun party music?
I wouldn't say it's party music per se. It's more storytelling. So it's like people you would have people get together, and then there'll be someone going right, and then someone will just get up and then he'll start telling a story, and then you have another one to also get in another groove, and so that's the historical kind of background to high life music, and then they added the guitar and then horns, trumpet, trombone. So the basic idea is just to set a rhythm and then let the vocalist do his thing.
Right.
So do you bring those kind of influences to the work that you do?
I try. I'm not the best at it because when I was a kid, I really wanted to listen to more of hip hop and less of high life. But then now that I've grown a little bit older, now I'm listening to more high life and less hip hop. So I do try to put that influence in there, but it's another class of its own. I went back home not too long ago and had a couple of conversations with high life musicians and stuff, and there's a lot that goes into it. It's really deep and interesting.
How would you describe your sound in your album?
My sound is a crossbreed of soul music, reggae, and hip hop.
Nice. And how much of the music are you responsible for in your album?
Everything. So with this specific album, I played everything, wrote everything. So yeah, I've always liked to compose everything. So that was the direction I went for this, and then I wanted it to have like a kind of raw sound to it. So I think that was achieved.
I'm curious to hear it.
Well, you know what we could do? We could watch the video and then
I'd
come
love
back
to.
and just carry on the conversation.
sure.
Now this video was, it looks like it was shot in Hamilton, was it?
Yes, it was shot in Hamilton.
Okay.
I have to give props to the city that I'm in. So
Yeah. Do you like Hamilton?
Yeah, it's a great city. People kind of give it some bad flack, but it has good aspects in it. It's getting vibrant right now. The art scene is picking up in Hamilton. So if you're someone that's in the arts industry, you might want to make your way down to Hamilton.
Well, I gotta say, I love Hamilton.
The reviews are getting better, and a lot of people, like even around me, people want to move to Hamilton, especially because of the creative scene.
Yeah.
And you guys have the art crawl. There's a lot
Yes.
happening right now.
And the city, because I like the feel of the city.
Right.
Like that below the mountain. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
It's urban. It's got a lot of old, beautiful buildings, and it's underutilized and underappreciated. So
I'm gonna try to get up there soon
yeah.
too. Yeah.
So let's check.
Maybe we can convince you guys to come do a show down in Hamilton.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm there.
I'm there.
Sold.
Let's check out the video. We're gonna come back with Kojo right after this. Kojo, what's your message? What's your commentary?
The song is just about, you know, looking around you and just figuring out what's happening, you know. there's so many things that are going on right now that that if you're not involved, things will just pass by you and you won't know what hit you. I always say everyone is comfortable in the system until it fails them. So for me, I think you shouldn't wait until the system fails you before you decide to act on something. If you have free health care, keep it that way. Don't just neglect it until 5 years down the line they say no, you can't have free health care. Or if you have free education, make use of it and keep that right. If you have the right to vote, go out and vote.
And don't take for granted.
Yeah, don't take it for granted, because in other countries they don't even have the right to vote. So the song is just, it's just saying, you know, be glad for what you have, and just look around you, and if you think you can make a difference, just go ahead and do it.
Okay, so but how do you do that stuff, Kojo? Because no, seriously, you know, it's nice to have free health care, but it seems to me that they, whatever, the government, seems to be cutting back more and more every day. And not just in Canada, everywhere. Can't afford it in Europe. Greece has to cut it back. You know? It's everywhere.
Yeah, well, I'm far from a politician. I just comment. But I think for me, I just think that people have the power. If you show the government that you don't want one specific thing, they would have to think about the decisions that they are making. We all know what's happening in Quebec with tuition stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not agreeing with all the violence that's happening, but at least they are voicing their opinion. So if you can voice your opinion on what you think the government is doing that you don't agree with, then at least you are one step ahead in trying to infuse some change. So I think that's the point that I would just put out there. If you think something's being done by your government or your city councilor or mayor, then you have to voice your opinion. You have to show them that, okay, we don't want our libraries closed. We need our libraries open so that our children can have more books to read, as opposed to staying at home and playing computer games 24/7, right? So
but here's what they're going to say, but we don't have the money. We have to shut the libraries. We have to make some hard decisions.
So then you question, then you ask. I was listening to CBC a couple of months ago before I left for Ghana, and I think one of the MPs said everybody has to sacrifice, everybody has to cut down. So if he's saying that, then I think maybe they should sacrifice first, and when we see them sacrifice, then we'll follow suit. That's leadership.
I don't even think we need to sacrifice. I think that the global bankers need to sacrifice a little bit.
That's a whole other thing you're cracking open.
I know.
But I think it's important to ask questions, stand up for what you believe, but most importantly, you got to do it in a manner that people are also going to receive it. I don't think violence is okay.
Yes, exactly.
And I think a lot of the message is getting lost through it. So hopefully, you know, we just do our best and hope that our best is good.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, but I have to jump to this next question because you and I were talking while the video was on, and I said something, so I'm going to ask this question what are you working on next?
Okay, so my next project is called Daylight Robbery, and I worked on a group from Hamilton. They're called Canadian Winter.
Yeah.
And I did.
My buddy Kobe, when he first moved to Canada, I'm one of the first people that he met. So we just like bonded, and he's doing really well.
Good.
What's it called? Canadian Winter?
Canadian Winter.
Yeah, they call Canadian Winter. Very good guys. So I did Daylight Robbery with them. That's going to be the single for my next project. So yeah, I'm working on that, and that project is very dear to me because I had him collaborate. He's from Ghana as well. And I'm working with a photographer that's in Hamilton. His name is George Kwenu. And he went to Ghana last year, and he did some photography projects in a little city in Ghana, and they don't have a school for the young ones. So we decided to team up, and when we release the song, and we're going to have a photo exhibit as well, where he's
Incredible.
going to exhibit his photos, and we're going to try and raise money and send back so that they can start building a school in their
That's
city.
amazing.
So that's the next project, and it's coming along. It's hard, but it's coming along, and hopefully we should have it out by August or September, depending on how the funding goes. So
I
we'll
hope
see.
it works out. And when that's happening and you have events, you guys should all come back together
Yeah.
and talk about it.
Sure,
That'll be great.
definitely.
On a
definitely.
Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. That's my day. I'll talk to you guys before then and we'll arrange something.
Sure.
Amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to ask you about the process of making the music that you do. Like, for example, what kind of a keyboard do you work with, or you know, how does it, or do you have, is it all software?
Well, I started purely software, and then I branched into live, and then now I use a combination of both. So for this record that I just released, everything was all software based. But this next project that I'm doing, everything is all live band. So and then when I perform, when I go out on tour, it's all live band. So so yeah, when I'm at home, the creative process is it starts with the software program, and then I kind of build up from there.
Like, what do you start with? Do you start with a rhythm, like a drum beat?
It all depends. It all depends. I mean, the song Illusion, that one started by just looking outside the window and seeing some. There was this gentleman that it was on recycling day, and he was just coming down the street, and he was taking all the beer cans.
Yeah.
Right, so I was looking at him, and he was doing this right on the street, and that's when the rhythm came to me. So it depends. Sometimes it's just seeing something, and it hits you,
Absolutely.
and then I went straight to the keyboard, and I was like, dun 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 dun, right, and then it can. And then sometimes too, I start with a nice loop. And so yeah, there are different ways, and then also too, I like nice chords. So I start with that sometimes too as well. So there are all different ways at which I go about it, but the important one is to make sure that it sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, now I want to ask you another question about the business end of it, the music industry, because I know it sounds like the right thing to do, leave chemical engineering behind because there's no money in it, and go into music, right? But no, seriously, do you have any thoughts about how you really make it in the music? And we were talking with James this morning about, you know, like, what does it take to like really break through and make it big time in the music business these days?
Well, I think it depends what you want out of it. Some people want to be famous and be sitting with Jack Nicholson at Lakers games, right? And then some just want to be able to go out to Vancouver, Manitoba, Winnipeg, and just be on tour.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want out of it. For me, I think what I say, it might not be, I know I'm not a Marvin Gaye or a Bob Dylan or a Brian McKnight with great, you know, tone and all that stuff. But my thing is what I say in the songs, just think about it. So for me, it's just sharing the songs with people. And if people think that it's worth $5 or $2 or whatever it is, then so be it. I think eventually the art speaks for itself, and if I'm meant to do this for a bit, I will. If not, the only thing constant in life is change. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Okay. Do you think a giant comet is going to hit the planet this year and really mess things up, Kojo?
Well, if it does, then I hope we're all with our loved ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then just still be with your loved ones. Treat everybody right with respect and love, and keep on living peacefully. That's all I can say.
All right. Okay, Kojo. Now this album, the one you've already released, what's the name of the album again?
It's called the EP.
The EP.
Yes.
Okay. Where can people get their hands on it if they want to?
They can go to the website easythepianoman.com, and they can purchase it there. We have T-shirts as well, and if they want to contribute to the next project, there's also a little link they can click on and support.
Okay, that's awesome. So and that's coming out maybe in the fall. The
Daylight Robbery. It should be coming out in the fall sometime.
Okay, well, we look forward to that, and hope you can make it back.
Yes.
With Canadian Winter at that time, and on a Wednesday, and we'll have some fun.
Yes.
For sure. Good luck with everything.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you,
and
Kojo.
thanks for having me.
Great to meet you. Great to do this. Now we have another song from
the EP.
From the EP, and what's this song called?
This is called Africa.
Okay. All right. And anything you want to say about it?
This song is just because the premise of the EP is an African immigrant, or an African immigrant, or for that matter, any immigrant living in the West, telling their perspective of what they're seeing. So Africa is just a song talking about how hard it is to be an African, and also talking about the state that Africa is in. So,
all right. Okay,
that's
Kojo.
it.
We look forward to hearing it right now. And thanks for doing this. And we're going to come back with Loana Morgan, trainer, coach, author of Empowered for Success, right after this, here on Liquid Lunch.
When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. We fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. Work undone by the ones who cause us pain and misery. You look across the board and there's less hope for our children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? The locked up brother says they take it to political office. Ghetto lands is insurance for their safety. You see single parents living on the short end of the living wage. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. The times need to change. We have had enough. We don't need them stealing from our future. Lord knows they have stolen from our past, and they continue to keep destroying Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. Stand up. Stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand up.
Here's a song, ladies and gentlemen, that I recorded back in 1960. My very first recording. Hope you still remember it and care for it. This is the song.
Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. You fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. Your work undone by the ones who caused us pain and misery. Look across the board and it's nice full of children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? Lock the brothers and still take it to political office. Ghetto lands is insurance for your safety. The Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, Tunisia, Mexico, Morocco, Libya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Kenya.
And welcome back to the show. It's me, Hugh, and a couple of songs, or maybe just one. I don't know. It depends what happens in editing.
Never know.
By Kojo, and we'll be playing that for the rest of the show too, if we need music. Okay, we got Loana Morgan here, trainer, coach, and author of this book right here, Empowered for Success. Loana, great to have you on the show.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Am I saying your name right, Loana?
Yes, you are, perfectly.
Okay, great. So, Empowered for Success, creating the masterpiece of your life. So, that's a pretty ambitious topic to take on and write a whole book about it. Like, what's the story of how you came to write this book?
I think throughout my life, I've always wondered what made people successful. I was a typical person. I worked hard. I traveled up the corporate ladder. I started my own business, so I was studying, doing my. I had a traveling job. I traveled a lot, and I also ran a couple of businesses on my own. And I guess throughout my life, I would meet people who were supposedly successful. And it was always in my mind what made people truly empowered for success. And success is contextual. Some people tend to think that success is money. Some people tend to think that success is building the biggest business or whatever. And then you'd meet a lot of people and say, my greatest job is growing up my kids. Success to me is raising the best kids possible. And you'd meet someone and they're just happy and contented with life. And so success, when I say success, it's really contextual, meaning that whatever is your idea of success, what success means to you, it's really being empowered in that particular field that you're involved in, or whatever it is you're involved in. And so growing up, I've always looked at people, and some of the people that we thought were successful, I would meet them and they were very unhappy. And even though people would look at them, they were documented on newspapers, they had high-profile jobs, and there were so many times that these are people who thought, I'm not successful, I'm not happy what's working out. And many years ago, about 20-something years ago, I started to wonder, I grew up with a bit of Eastern philosophy and Christian philosophy, and I've often wondered, is life fate or free will? Because you would say, oh my God, is our life destined? Is it free will? So I started to study astrology. Oh. Because I wanted to find out what made people successful. And I remember I had met this astrologer. And the guy, I never met this guy in my life, and he did a chart, and he told me a lot of stuff, not just about myself, but my family members, and it had me thinking, So I turned to him and I asked him, I said, are you trying to tell me that our life is destined? And he said, no, he said, you know, we've got free will. And so I said, okay, fine. And in my search, I started to study numerology and all these kind of stuff that, you know, people do, because it's you know, man is made up of mind, body, spirit, and soul. So there's more to life than just doing a logical flow for success. And during that time, I became a coach. I started to get involved in coaching, and it was really my pursuit. And the pursuit really wasn't so much, like I said, it was, I always felt that we are all empowered for success. And I would meet people throughout my life that seemed to have it all. We would admire them in newspapers and magazines, and you meet them, and they would still have the same fears and insecurities. They never felt they were successful. Because even though in the eyes of the public they were successful, in their private lives they didn't have the level of success that they wanted. And success for them could have meant something else. It didn't have to be that fame and fortune. So as I was studying and did my research, I stumbled upon a Chinese theory that I liked a lot, and it's called the Trinity of Luck.
Trinity of Luck. I'm taking notes.
Yes. And the Trinity of Luck, and I liked it a lot because of my belief in that we are much more than what we are. You know, that we are, you know, people say we are a spirit having a human journey, or a soul that's evolving and growing. And when I saw that theory, it said that, you know, human luck is based on three things, really. It's based on heaven luck, it's based on earth luck, and it's based on human luck. And I remember reading it, and it made so much sense to me, because of all the things that I had studied, all the coaching and the books I read and people that I met, I had never stumbled upon a theory that made so much sense.
Okay, let's explore it.
Okay.
Heaven luck. First of all, these are the three aspects of the Trinity of Luck: heaven, earth, and human luck.
Yes,
right?
that's more or less, and I would say it's like the broad outline of everything.
Okay.
So heaven luck is really, and some people, and again it's debatable, some people believe that you do have a karmic luck, that you know, there is, you come into this world with lessons to learn, and
some people are lucky.
Yes. Or they believe that, and heaven luck to me is, it could also be things like the family you were born into, the place you were born, your status in life. Because a lot of these things you didn't really have a choice, you know, when you consider it. So that to me, I would classify that as heaven luck. Some people believe that karma, that things that you may have done does affect this past life, that sort of thing. Earth luck, again, is the place that you were born. So for example, and I'll use an example of something that I've observed. I mean, there are people who may have been born in countries that are poverty-stricken. You know, they didn't have a choice to the place that they were born. And then there were some people that are in North America, for example. So that's earth luck. You were born in a free country where you've got choices. You can do something with your life. There's so many options that you have.
Some people have said that being born in Canada is like winning the lottery.
And I would add Trinidad, and I'd add the U.S. And there's a lot of, I think once you're born in a free country where you have got, you know, food, and you've got a free education system and a choice, you know. And then human luck is the luck that you create for yourself. So the human luck is really the one where the decisions that you make, for example, you might go to school, you might study, you might get involved in personal development, the choices that you make, that is really your human luck. So based on that theory, if we were to analyze it, we've got at least 2/3 control over our luck in life. And the 2/3 would be the place that you were born, because you can move, people migrate, they go to somewhere different. And your earth luck is that if you really want to change your life, you've got so many options to choose. You can go to school, you can change your careers, you know, there's so many things. So the whole emphasis on the book is that no matter what it is, you've got a chance to make something and create the masterpiece of your life. And we are all empowered for success in one way or the other.
Okay. So now, so is that in the book here?
Yes, that's actually how I wrote the book. I wrote the book along those three, that the Trinity of Luck.
I see.
Where my coaching was based on those three aspects of luck.
Okay, so what do we do? Oh,
Sorry,
you go. No, you go. No, you. I've asked too many questions
I was just going to say, like, clearly it's about choices that we make as well, where we are, like, recognizing what direction we can take. I'm just trying to understand what that has to do. Like, we're lucky that we have choices. So if we're born here, and if we want to call that earth luck, we live in Canada, it presents us with a lot of choices, whether we like it or not. we have access in comparison to a third world, but how is that associated with luck? In regards to, if I make a choice, it's a choice. And the outcome's going to be whatever it is, whether I can control it or not. How is that connected to being lucky?
I think the choice is, and I think the choice that you have is, if you were to make a decision and it's not the right one, you can always change your actions.
Okay.
It may not necessarily change what may have happened in the past, but at this moment forward, you can change your actions to create the life that you want. And it really has a lot to do with being conscious about these things. And as people say, being mindful of it. So for example, I mean, the whole thing about personal development is that you really start to be aware of your life. And instead of just being driven by the choices that are around you, you get up, you go to work, you react to life.
Right.
In personal development, you take control of your life, and you stop and you ask yourself, am I happy? Is this what I really want?
Right.
And you start to measure the results of your action. So it's just being conscious of the results of your action and taking corrective action to create the outcome that you want.
And do you talk about making the right choices for yourself? Because often there's fear. I mean, people are afraid. So people know or have an idea what they would like to do. They don't know where to start, who to go to, how to go about starting it. And then there's the fear of, am I making the right choices? Am I going to succeed? Or maybe they're afraid of success. So how do you deal with that?
I think even the best of us, and I mean, even I, like I was telling you earlier on, I went to other coaches and I sat down, and I think it's really being aware that life is a journey. And I really do not believe that we are here to be perfect beings. I believe that we are here to grow and learn, and we learn through experiences. And really, yes, there are times it's devastating, and there are times that you sit down and you say, oh my God, is there a God? What's going on? Is there life? Is there a way out? But I think it's really, you know, sort of centering yourself and getting that help that you need. And it all starts with really knowing who you are. So it always starts with knowing who you are. So for example, in my book I tell people what it is you are supposed to be doing. You know, why are you here? Are you happy with who you are? And the moment that you find that things are getting out of control, seek help. And that's what I do. And I seek help through books. I've read books all my life, and it was my goal to write a book and, you know, just share some of that wisdom. I listen to audio tapes all the time in my car. I'm always listening to positive stuff. I have a variety of, from spiritual to coaches that I listen to. I attend seminars all the time. You know, I'm conscious of the fact that, you know, there are lots of stuff that come at us in life. You know, it isn't perfect. People around us are not perfect. People that we love are not perfect. They have their issues.
Can they improve somehow?
Can the other people who get on our nerves, who are not perfect, improve?
I'd like to think so. Sometimes even I question it. The thing is, though, we can't change ourselves.
Right.
And changing ourselves isn't making ourselves this great, perfect person that we can't relate to anybody anymore. I think change really is sometimes adjusting to that situation in a different way. So for example, if you find yourself really frustrated with a situation, maybe stepping back and operating from a more constructive point of view, really looking at things from a different point of view, and not just your point of view, but maybe looking at that person's point of view and trying to find a balance in between, sort of thing.
And that's usually, I think, the frustration to begin with. If we were able to do that, it would be a lot easier. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trust me, we are all challenged, but that's what life is all about. I mean, sometimes I sit down and I figure, can you imagine if a life, everything was perfect and life was just
bored.
You know, people come and they challenge us, and in dealing with that situation the right way, you acquire a different skill that equips you to do something else. When you think about it, if you're able to handle situations in your life, you grow and you become a better person, and you're able to handle something else, you know. Or maybe just stay at that level and really enjoy it and make something really good out of it.
I guess sometimes we resist everything that comes instead of embracing it, understanding that it's part of our growth process and that everything does pass. So looking back, have we learned from it and evolved, or are we kind of hanging on to past experiences and not letting go? That's kind of how I see it.
That's a great point. You know, something I've learned and I try to do all the time is they've always said at some point you must stop and say, you must exercise gratitude and be thankful for all that you have learned. And actually say that statement, I'm thankful for all that I've learned and I'm ready to move on to something better.
Yes.
You know. So that helps.
Absolutely.
So, Loana, so you work as a coach.
Yes.
I suppose you, this is probably the textbook, right, that goes along with the coaching?
Yes, I actually focus on one aspect of it, really, and it's the fun part of it.
Which is what?
It's vision boards and setting goals.
Okay, now that vision board, you saw The Secret probably, right?
Yes, I did.
So you know that one guy that tells that story about he had his vision board? He had his old, and he found his old vision board and he didn't even know it.
Yes.
But he actually lived in the house. He just cut out a picture of the house he wanted to live in, and it wasn't until after he bought the house that he realized that it was the actual picture of his actual house that he ended up living in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a powerful story. Do you have any stories like that about vision boards?
Yes. You know what? I have heard so many stories of vision boards throughout my life. I've heard people who have had vision boards. They sat down in groups and just did these things, put it away in their attic, and years later realized that a lot of it came to pass. So there is something. In terms of how it works, I really can't say. I can only assume that when you write things down, you bring it from the non-physical into the physical realm. And there is something positive because what I like about vision boards is that you support what you would like with pictures and affirmations and stuff like that. So it is a very powerful tool. Whether it works for everyone, I can't say.
I think it kind of depends on your belief system and how connected you are. Because I mean, I can speak for myself. Since I was a kid, I pretty much probably did get everything I wanted, but some of them 20 years later. So there's also this expectation of putting things out and getting it right away. And we forget to appreciate what actually ends up coming, and sometimes in a slightly different form. So it's kind of being able to step back and recognize what has entered your life and why, and how it's most of the time what you've asked for. We just expect to see it how we want it versus how it arrives. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I found it in my own personal life.
I actually mentioned that in my book, and because I saw the same thing too. I've seen people that did so many things right, but sometimes I tend to wonder if you've got to be ready for that outcome.
Absolutely.
And it's the journey towards that outcome that prepares you for that level of success.
So now, what kind of clients do you like to work with as a coach?
What I've gotten a lot of executives. What I've found, people that my clients are usually between the ages of about 35 to about 55. And they're really just people that would like to, and most of it's the common thing. I've reached a point in my life and I do not know where I would like to go from here. I know, I've got lots of plans, or maybe I do not even know what I'm aware of. And so it tends to be a lot of executives and professionals that come to me saying, or it could be housewives. I had a couple of people that said, my kids are all grown up now, what next?
Right.
Do you find that a lot of these people, even the executive level, because you mentioned before the importance of knowing who you are, right? What you really want to be doing, what you really want. Do you find that a lot of these people may be struggling with that issue?
Not all the time. Sometimes when you're in flow with life, my thing is not everyone has to plan. Sometimes you're just in flow, it just works out. You're going and you're happy. Except you may look at your life and say, oh my gosh, this is just one aspect of my life that's successful. I've got other areas that I really need to work on. So it's really a balance in life. So people that I've found who may be successful in one area, they're really looking at spirituality or health or family or happiness or some sort of personal development that's separate from that success for that overall success in life.
And are you where you want to be? Or
No,
what's on your vision
absolutely not.
board? What's on your vision board that you
What's
like
on my
to-
vision board? I have got some, I did a dream book.
What's that?
A dream book is, it's really sort of like a scrapbook, where instead of having one big vision board that you put everything into and then you've got to take it down, like a scrapbook, you can actually insert photographs and everything. So it's mini vision boards that you're putting.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can do it for each area of your life. So I did quite a few, and why I like the vision board is that you can put it away. It doesn't have to be for public display like vision boards. I always ask people, you know, how would you feel putting up your vision board? Would your spouse approve? Would he laugh at your dreams, or would she laugh at your dreams, or would your family members laugh? So with the dream book, it's a lot private. You can put it in your drawer, you can put it away, you can take it out, look at it. The same concept. So I've got a couple of exotic family vacations. I've got vehicles, coaching programs. I've got dream houses. I've got best-selling books.
That's great.
Well, this one could be a bestseller.
Yes.
Do you think it should be?
Well, yes, I definitely do. And I'll tell you what happened. I actually launched my book in March, and I did not do any extensive marketing. I wanted feedback. A lot of people would launch and they would start to market, and people thought I was crazy. Oh my God, why don't you do this? And I said, no, my main concern is feedback. It is a coaching book. There, I have a life plan in there that people need to logically follow. And I really wanted feedback. And everyone has read the book so far came back and said, oh my God, I've learned things. I've had coaches that read the book and said, you know, and now, yes, I'm ready to actually start marketing my book, because it was something, my main concern really was the quality of information and whether it would change lives.
Which is very important.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for thinking about that.
Yes.
How do you deal with people who are kind of enjoy lots of different things but can't figure out their focus though? Which I find is part of the issue with people too. It's like, I want to do this, that, and the other, but possibly not all of that every day of their life. So how do you help people find their focus?
I mean, yeah, one of two things. I mean, people are different, and that could be that person's model of the world. It's the way that they enjoy life. You know, each of us are different, and they might be one of these people that dabble in a lot of different things. They gain a lot of knowledge, and at some point in time, when they are ready to settle down, they would. I mean, until someone is ready to settle down, there's nothing that anyone can do for that person. And we all have a unique role to play in life, and that person could be living their unique role. Not everyone has to be focused on one thing. You meet people and they're crazy and they're carefree and they're doing 10 things, but guess what? They're enjoying life. I believe if whenever they're ready, they can simply go through and say, okay, what it is I'm ready to do now. It's simply a matter, okay, I've done all this stuff, I need to settle down, and what it is what I like to do, and that's really it.
Or when it's time, the opportunity comes. Because, I mean, it's refreshing to hear what you're saying, because you often hear you can't have your hand in too many places or else you're never going to be successful and you're spreading yourself out thin. And like you said, people, that's your purpose sometimes.
Yes. We're all different,
Right.
you know. And you look at people and they're unique. You know, I've got 3 brothers and sisters, and we're all different. And you look at people, and I love to see people that are different from myself, because they're different. Their outlook in life is different. The way that they see things, you know, and it's just fun, you know.
It's a learning opportunity.
Okay, Loana. So I guess there's a couple opportunities here, and maybe more if I don't get them all. But one is people who are resonating here, they can get in touch with you and use you as a life coach, right?
Yes.
And or they can get their hands on the book, right? Now, is there anything else that I'm missing?
In terms of what I do?
Yeah, in terms of other ways people can benefit from what you do and your expertise.
Yes, I recently started to do a lot of blogging. And the reason why is that there's so much information you can share with someone, and I would like to give back. It's not just, and sometimes you coach someone and you know it's a learning process. You know, you can't just go to a coach and make changes. There are some things that you would change that you're ready to change. And other things would take time. It's a process of change. So I've actually started a blog where I've actually started to document stuff. Simple questions people ask me, like, other people's energy affect me. You know, I don't understand why I keep taking on people's stuff. I can't stand to be in crowd. You know, I feel overwhelmed, I can't sleep. There's so many things, and you realize that it's all an energetic thing. So I've started to blog about things that people can start to incorporate in their lives. And I'll give you a real example. I mean, a lot of women tend to be sensitive to energies, and there's a real thing like where you can actually be in a situation where you can, someone else's energy can affect you. And if you're not aware of it and not able to actually cleanse yourself of that energy, you take stuff off and you actually feel depressed or you feel down. So it's simple stuff like that. I've actually started to just blog, and I think that's something I'm really proud of, and because it's a resource that people can actually read and learn from and grow. And it's from some of the top people in the field. I've taken some from some of the best books I've read and put the authors there and their books. Should people decide to read, you know, they're free to go and read it, that sort of thing.
Can you share with us what a simple advice would be for something like that? Because often people don't associate how our environment and other people can affect us to how they're feeling. So what kind of advice would you give as in regards to maybe blocking it or cleansing it?
Well, it's a couple of things I've learned, and I've actually learned a lot from people like Sonia Choquette and Doreen Virtue. People have, you know, I go to Hay House every year. I read a lot of Hay House books. And what I'd like to suggest is that people recommend that you take, you soak in sea salt baths that cleanses your energy field. You can actually visualize yourself in an optimum state before you leave home. Because most people leave home and they take their stuff with them, but you go out to optimize, so before you leave the door, you actually energize yourself in a very positive manner. And when you go out there, you've got to be aware of who affects you and how they affect you. So for example, you might be meeting someone, and every time you leave that person, you're annoyed or you're just upset about something, and then start to sort of avoid that person. I mean, people wear crystals. I love crystals all the time. People wear amethyst, they use citron crystals. I mean, there are so many things that people can do, but in terms of even sage is a cleanser.
Absolutely.
You can actually, and to me it's being healthy. Exercising, yoga helps, walking helps, the energy of nature helps cleanse your field.
So keeping flow throughout your own body as well to keep things moving.
You got it.
So as it comes in, it goes out.
Yes, you got it.
That's
Well, I
good
guess people can, if they subscribe to your blog or whatever, they
Yes.
can get this information up there. How often do you do it? Do you do it every day?
I try to do it at least once a week. I'm actually changing my blog. It's called Wealth Success Health. It's a WordPress blog, and I try to add, and I've got quite a lot of articles that I'm actually putting there. And it's just stuff that I've read for myself and has helped me from other books, and I've just put it on that blog.
Amazing.
Great. So, okay. So now, is there a website where people can get in touch with you or get their hands on the book?
Yes, it's loanamorgan.com.
Okay. And is a link to your blog there as well?
Yes, it's loanamorgan.wordpress.com.
Okay, so loanamorgan.com and loanamorgan.wordpress.com.
Yes.
Okay, Loana. Anything
you for
else? Any
sharing.
final thoughts you want to leave us with here today?
No, it's just, people tend to believe that success is for a chosen few, and they tend to look at other people and compare themselves. I think that true success is when you're able to look at yourself and say, okay, what are my strengths and what am I here for? And how can I best develop myself to really become the best that I could be? And that's the advice I could give anyone is look within, evaluate your strengths and decide what it is you're here for, and really live that purpose and become a success.
Okay.
Thank you.
And if that's not enough, then it's all here in the book. Right? Empowered for Success, create the masterpiece of your life. Thanks, Loana.
Thank you, it's been fun.
Okay, great. So let's just take a little break now, and we're going to play some more Kojo. Let me work some Kojo, and we'll come back with Rob, Testa,
Evan, you know a lot
Reveler,
of stuff.
and Illusionist right after this.
Congolais, Congolaises, combattants de l'indépendance aujourd'hui victorieux. L'indépendance du Congo, si elle est proclamée aujourd'hui dans l'entente avec la Belgique, pays ami, avec qui nous traitons d'égal à égal, nul Congolais digne de ce nom ne pourra jamais oublier que c'est par la lutte qu'elle a été conquise. Une lutte dans laquelle nous n'avons ménagé ni nos forces, ni nos privations, ni nos souffrances, ni notre sang.
struggles we facing. Our governments tell us that all will be well. So we head back into our shells. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. They take our men to war to fight a battle for their cause. A cause running on the blood of my brother and your sister. It turns into mystery for you and me. The world's for them. And they say it will trickle down. It's all a smoke screen. Don't fall for their lies. It's all a smoke screen. They'll lead us astray, and we'll never find a way back. It's all a smoke screen. Don't fall for their lies. It's all a smoke screen. They'll lead us astray, and we'll never find a way back.
Y'all ready for this? Hey, y'all ready, fellas? Yeah. Y'all ready for this?
When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. When I say Africa, you say stand up, stand up. Stand up. Stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand up.
Here's a song, ladies and gentlemen, that I recorded back in 1960. My very first recording. Hope you still remember it and care for it. This is the song.
Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. We fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. Your work undone by the ones who cause us pain and misery. Look across the board and it's nice full of children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? Lock the brothers and still take it to political office. Ghetto lands is insurance for your safety. The Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Tunisia, Morocco, Libya, South Africa. Stand up.
Okay, welcome back to Liquid Lunch, and that was the little trailer by Rob Testa. Rob, great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
And so that started January 2nd. It was a, what is it exactly?
Well, it's a bit of a web series I created just to go get some hype with, you know, a younger crowd or older crowd, or I guess anybody who's breathing pretty much.
Right, especially the people in heaven who now have high-speed internet.
It's true, I heard about that. It's like 12 megabits per second. We're still beating them a little
and
bit.
it's symmetrical,
yeah,
which is really awesome.
Exactly.
That way you can upload as much as you're downloading.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Yeah, they
So
get a higher upload bandwidth than we do. But we're beating them in the down. What are we talking about
Yeah,
right
what
now?
are we
Second
talking
on,
about?
they like cut off your connection apparently.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
They have Rogers as well.
No, Rob, that's the. Okay, Rob. Okay, so now I saw you perform not too long ago.
Yes, you did.
And I forget. Did you cut a woman in half that night?
I did, but you weren't supposed to tell anybody because I didn't have insurance. So thank you for telling me.
Okay, I give up. Okay,
No, I didn't cut a woman in half,
No.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I forget what you did that.
Well, that's
night.
I guess a good representation of how entertaining I was, I guess.
Well, no, it was very entertaining. I remember I was highly entertained, but you know there was alcohol involved.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up about the cutting a woman in half, because I try and stray from that type of magic.
Well, that's old.
Yeah, it's old school
style. You got to do something new and fresh, right?
Yeah, exactly. And people have typically seen that stuff before. They're still impressed by it. But I like to try and give them come from the, a different angle.
Okay.
Well,
So,
sorry.
you go.
I was gonna say I saw a little bit of your performance this weekend.
Oh, you did?
at
Yes.
the,
Yeah, that's so
circus.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's one of those days today. Everything is connecting again. What is it that you're bringing that's new and different?
Well, most illusionists or magicians, well, first of all, there's a difference between magic and illusion. There are a bunch of different reasons why I say that. Number one is because when you think of magic, you typically think of a rabbit coming out of a hat with a magic wand, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Or pick a card, any card. When you think of illusions, it's a little bit different. You think of everyday objects or whatever comes across your path, right? And the other thing is people think that magic is, by definition, magic is supernatural or paranormal, something that's, in my opinion, impossible. Whereas the illusions is giving you the illusion that I can actually perform magic. The other thing is a lot of magicians, they throw a bit of comedy into their act. I guess I try to be more of a comedian who does some magic, right?
Okay.
It's almost a 50-50.
It's an entertainment thing.
Yeah, exactly. I just try to generally entertain people. At least try.
Now you got that name. What is it? Revel Magic.
Revel Magic,
What does
yeah.
that mean exactly?
So revel, the definition is a boisterous or uproarious celebration, or to take great pleasure or delight. So that's what I'm trying to get out of people. I'm trying to have them to be revelers, to make them go, oh, instead of just, oh, that was nice, I like that. I don't want them to just be entertained. I want them to revel in entertainment.
Are you getting the reaction that you would like to see?
You know what? I'm trying to. Sometimes.
I mean, that's ambitious. It's
I know.
really ambitious in this day and age to be that bold. Say you really want to break some new ground, really make people go crazy over some kind of art form, whatever it is, right?
It is the truth. And I'm trying to get there, and I think I'm doing an okay job with it. But sometimes people are reveling, in excitement and entertainment, and sometimes they throw socks at me and stuff like that. So there are ups and downs.
That's why you need a chicken wire suit.
Exactly.
Right?
I never thought
I know,
of that.
chicken wire suit.
There you go.
You carry it around with you.
What's your favorite crowd though? Do you enjoy entertaining for the younger crowd?
I'd say university age crowds.
Okay.
Or, you know what, the best private events I've ever performed for were 40th and 50th birthday parties, because they just don't care. They love joining me with the jokes and stuff.
Right.
And I love that about a crowd, because when they feed me, I can actually try and use my wit a little more, and then we play off of each other. And then, yeah, it becomes way more fun, and I start laughing, they laugh, and everybody has a good time.
That's perfect.
Everybody
So-
starts to revel in it.
There you go.
There you go, you see.
So where do you want to take this?
Where do I want to take this? To infinity and beyond. I created that cliche quote.
Okay.
It's true, not buzz. No. I just want to take, you know what, my goal is to get on cruise ships, because I've worked on cruise ships a bunch of times, and I just love having that really, really big stage, captive audience, and just trying to make them absolutely laugh and be so excited. And also getting to see the world is a bit of a plus on top of that as well. So.
Absolutely.
Don't you ever get claustrophobic on those cruise ships?
Let's go for a
actually-
swim, Hugh. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Just jump over, as long as it's not in, you know, in the water in the middle of the ocean. Because I hear there are man-eating sharks, so you're safe. That's a bad old joke.
That's funny.
Rob, like, when did you decide you wanted to get into this field?
Into the field? Well, actually, my mom is a magician, and my dad used to be an illusionist, and they fornicated, and I was born. Yeah.
So you
It's
didn't
a
really
true
have to
story
do
I
much
made up.
work.
Yeah.
You were like, boom, I'm out.
exactly.
Let's do some tricks. Okay.
Yeah, it was an illusion. Well, they always called me delusional, so. Well, I'm just figuring that out now.
That's a
No,
good
I'm
one.
joking. I know I've been doing it for about 5 or 6 years, and the reason why I got into it is just because I love making people laugh, and I love public speaking. It's my favorite thing to do in the world.
That's great. So what were you doing before?
Well, before, I was in school when I actually started it as a hobby, so about 6, 7 years
Like
ago.
what, high school?
In high school, yeah, as a hobby. And then in university, I made it into a bit of a business, just because I was like, oh, this is cool. People keep asking me if I can come perform for their event. So I said, why not, you know, create a business card, register a business, whatever it might be. And then it just flourished from
I got to
there.
ask you, what did you take at university?
In university, alcoholism. I went to Western, University of Western Ontario.
That's
Well,
always
you can go to pretty
Hammered
much
right
any university in Ontario
That's
and take
true.
that.
But we actually have a degree for it. No, I took political science. So it was either this or garbage picking.
Okay.
Well, not a
I'm
garbage
glad
man.
you
They make
picked
money.
this. Okay.
I'm talking about the guy who goes to the end of your curb and says, hey, a microwave. I can salvage this. You know,
Well,
that
that's
guy.
me and Aaron.
You know what? and my friend, like, we talk about this stuff all the time. Some people get off on that. Come on.
But the
You
bed
know?
bugs are an issue now.
Yes,
We were talking
that's right.
earlier.
No,
You gotta watch.
no wood picking.
You know,
That's
you
true.
don't want to pick up a microwave with bed bugs
That's
in it.
right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then
So-
the food will be extra tasty. And bitter.
Protein, right? You
Okay.
can just eat them.
I took
that's
political
gross.
science.
But you need a lot.
Oh, gross.
One is not enough.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
Okay,
Yeah,
Rob.
not your-
What?
Sorry. Just backtracking. So where do you fit into with Zero Gravity?
Well, they're a circus company, so Zero Gravity Circus, and I actually ran into, I don't even remember exactly how our relationship started. That's most of the relationships I've had as well. That's where the alcoholism comes
That's
into
right.
play. But no, I didn't really know how I met them, but I did a show or two for them, and they had gotten good feedback. And because I'm a little bit of a wild and crazy character when I perform, it's very random jokes, random illusions. They just started to like what I had to do, and they started hiring me as a roaming performer. And this was actually their big test for me to have me, because I've only been working with them for about 6 to 8 months, I guess.
Okay.
And this was their test to see how good I could attract a crowd without having anything there. And
Well, you had quite a bit of a crowd when I saw you.
yeah,
so
it was
that's
actually a
great.
really fun
Yeah.
event, besides the nose burning. 6
okay.
SPF doesn't work.
No.
I'm Italian. I thought my wop would come out and go block, but it didn't.
You know what? I'm Turkish. I always think that too, but we
Yeah.
always get a little burnt in the beginning of the summer. So
Exactly, the first burn of the season.
that's right.
Okay, Rob, come on. You got some tricks.
I
don't
was
you?
gonna
I'm
say.
excited for them.
Let's
huh?
do some tricks, man.
Okay, so like I said, not an illusionist. I'm a magician. I'm just gonna grab this right here. So you
Okay.
see, this is my coloring book. It's my favorite coloring book. This is my example of
Oh,
magic.
I remember this trick now.
Yeah, you do. See, it's coming back. The alcohol goes away,
Yes.
the memory comes back. There you go.
Okay.
So I've had this book actually for a long time. I've kept it really safe. I've had it since I was 6 years old. Six
Wow.
years
So
old.
like 6 years ago?
Well, no. Well, I'm 27 years old now. So that means I've had it for 42 years. Yeah, a long
Yeah.
time. 42
My math is really bad.
years.
Sorry about that.
Well, I'm actually really good at math,
can
actually.
see
yeah.
that.
That's true. See, I actually didn't color in any of the pictures, though, when I was 6, because I was too busy practicing math, obviously, because at that
Right.
time, people told me I wasn't good at it. But I'm really, really good at math. You need a tutor? You
Yeah.
can call me later. I'll give you my card. You pay cash, no
I'll
tax,
call you.
okay? Yeah? Okay, so I want you to help me color in this coloring book, okay? So actually, what's your favorite color?
Red.
Touch the book and say red.
Red.
What's your favorite color?
I'm gonna go with burgundy today.
Burgundy.
Burgundy.
That's my favorite color too. Like
such a
how
good
you're out of
liar.
the ordinary. I'm joking. You're right. So I'm gonna do the rest, rainbow, and hopefully magically, and they're colored. Yay, they're colored. Now we have to turn it back to normal.
Did we see that? Did we get a good
I don't know,
shot
did
on
we see that? Let's
on
try that
the, can we get a close up?
Let's
maybe
get
lift
it
up.
extreme.
There you go. See, Rob? Yeah, there you go. See? All the colors are there.
They're there.
The red, the burgundy, the rainbow colors.
Now we have to turn it back to normal. What's a good word we can use to get rid of the colors?
Be gone.
Be gone. Well, that's 2 words,
That's
but that's
2
okay. What would you actually use to get rid of something on a piece of paper?
Eraser.
Eraser. Okay, there we go. So at the count of 3, I'd like you to yell eraser at the book. Here we go. 1.
Eraser.
Well, that was a little premature, but I have that problem too. No
I
worries.
have a listening problem.
Oh,
I'm
do you
telling
really?
you.
Well, I have the premature listening. It goes together not
work
too
well
well.
together.
So I want you to do me a favor. At the count of 3, I'd like you to yell eraser at the book. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Eraser.
There we go. And hopefully all the colors have been. No, not the pictures too. Did you take? No, you can't
I-
take the pictures.
Wow, my words are like magic. It just wiped
Give them
everything
back.
out.
Touch
Oh,
the
here.
book.
Let me do that.
We'll do this up.
I'll do that.
We'll do a.
Keep talking.
You touch the book.
Come back.
See, you can't take those. That's against the law in some countries, you thief. I paid a lot of money for that book. Now, that is what I consider a magic trick. That's not really my style. Illusions involve everyday objects, like I said before. And I'm actually addicted to Coke. I drink it all the time. It's a very refreshing beverage, but it's not good for you. So I was drinking a can of Coke on my way here.
Which is
I
why you're
saw
kind
that.
of like very...
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's the
okay.
caffeine, right?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and it's
I
from
get like that,
3
yeah.
centuries ago, so they added a little bit of extra stuff. No, I'm joking. That's not how I roll. So I was drinking it earlier, and I opened it a couple weeks ago. I was just finishing it off, and because of the weather, I mean, it's really hot. All the liquid evaporated. So I
Right.
tried to squeeze it into my mouth. That obviously doesn't work, so I got upset. So I thought there was something special about it, so I have it here. I'll grab it again. Let's see if we can take it as I pull the microphone practically off of me again. We'll set this back. So you see how it's crushed? It's crushed, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still a little thirsty, right? And I'll show you it is empty still, but I'm still thirsty. So let's see if we can try this. It's just crushed. All you got to do is concentrate on the can, and actually slowly it starts to uncrush itself. You see? It actually almost completely uncrushes itself. Yeah.
That's
And I'll
true.
show you. It's open on the top, right? It is open. You just give a little bit of a wave, and did you hear that? It is now closed. Now, what's the noise that a brand new can of Coke makes when you open it? Or listen. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Coca-Cola. You want to try it?
Are we gonna hear that?
Would you like to try it? You want to try it?
I'm good, but thank you.
Tell me if it's real.
I suspect it's probably some sort of magic Coke you
No.
bought at a magic shop, Rob.
No. No.
That was pretty impressive. I
Is it
like
real
that.
Coke? Yeah? Tastes good? Oh, well, I backwash a little
Sorry,
bit. It gives it some
no,
spice.
You know what? I can't do it. I'm on a cleanse.
Okay, that's fine.
You should
thought I
just said
just-
something. I would have done it for you. I'll take
Forgot about
it.
that, but it tastes like real Coke.
Okay, that's good. As long as
Awesome.
it tastes like real Coke. So that's, again, the difference. So that involves a regular can of Coke, glass that I borrowed from you guys, me, you. And
Well,
it's
let's,
actually real. You can keep that can of Coke.
And
if
that
you'd like.
can is open.
Yeah, it is
That's-
open.
I mean, it's
Awesome.
filled. It's filled. It's
So I have
feel
a
it.
question, and not to put you on the spot, because
I like
it's all
being on the
about your
Which
it's
spot?
all about your, strengths. But if I were to give you an object,
Yes.
can you work with that?
Depends on what it is.
Okay.
Like, what would you want to give me?
Let's say I give you a ring or a
A
bracelet
ring?
or
We can use a ring. Maybe we can try something. I might have to stand for this, though. Is that okay?
Well,
We're good?
Yeah.
I think
You like
so,
how
yeah.
I'm wasting time as the cameraman slowly makes his way? I'm joking. So, is that okay if I
Can we
stand
show?
for this?
Does that room shot work?
If you don't mind being the
yeah,
headless
we'll do
dude,
it,
it's
Rob.
all good.
There you go. Okay.
We have our own little magic too.
That's crazy. So, with the ring, do you mind if I borrow it for a minute? Where did you get this, actually?
A friend of mine who passed away made it for me.
Really? That's
Yes.
really awesome. How do they make that? I have no idea how that would actually be done. It's really nice.
Thank you.
That's cool. But, so it
So don't
obviously has
melt it
some.
down and
it
not
has
be
some
able to put-
significance to you, at least.
Sure, of course. There's
Okay.
heart.
So there is heart. That's right. So it has. This involves 2 things. Number 1 is your ring. Thank you for letting me borrow it. And let's see if we can try something with. No, see, you have me unprepared with this one, but I'll see if I can actually. Oh, there it is. My magic marker, magic wand. I couldn't afford, so I figured this do the same trick. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and
Oh,
No, that's in my ear. It's comedy. So here we go. We'll try this. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. See, and that's how you do something with anything. Yeah. So, what's next?
What's next is you make my ring come back.
Make your ring
How
come
it just
back?
appears back on
Now,
my finger or something.
See, this is crazy because I haven't moved much from this position, right?
Yeah.
I especially haven't bent over, and cameraman, I might need your help with this, but I haven't moved. It would have been impossible for me to have taken your ring, taken it without bending over, and tied it to my shoelace. You can actually look right here. You can see. We'll come down with the camera
lift
before
your-
I
Zoom in
actually
on
go
that.
down and show you that there is actually a ring tied to my shoelace. Now that could be any ring, but if I'm not mistaken, that's one of a kind
That
ring.
is
it
a
not?
one-of-a-kind
That is
ring
one of
that
a
is
kind.
mine.
Ring. I'll untie it for you right here.
Whoa.
That is impressive, my friend.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
very much, my friend.
Yes, Rob.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Yay.
But yeah, again, there's stuff like that. Sorry, I don't mean to do this. I'm just tying my shoe. But there's stuff like that, right? It involves everyday objects. Usually I do a lot of stuff with money. $100 bills work the best.
Okay, just bust out
I'm
$100.
fresh out right now, but maybe you can make some for us.
If I could do that, I'd be in Jamaica.
That's
Exactly.
Or maybe Costa Rica. I hear it's the time of year for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I
lived there.
heard
It's
that.
pretty freaking
Oh,
nice.
is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should go.
Okay, so $100 bills.
I'm
I
joking.
guess we're out of luck on that one today.
But
When I
actually,
break it and get some change, I'll hook you up with a couple.
Oh.
no, I actually don't even need a $100 bill, even if any of you have a bill. But no, it's okay.
Oh,
I'm
actually,
sorry.
I have a bill.
Oh, you do have a
Yeah,
bill?
I got it.
Well, you are a bill.
I
By
don't
the
have
way, I
any
heard
pockets
something.
right now.
I heard the new hundreds, the plastic ones, or the new 50s, don't put them in the washer and the dryer because they
Really?
fuse together, and the banks aren't going to help you.
Putting them at any point into the washer and the dryer.
You know, sometimes you do. Even,
Like you did.
I'm going to give you a 5, unless you're going to duplicate it.
Yeah, right.
Rob.
Okay, here.
I got a whole
That's
lot
not
of
how we
coins for you
roll.
then.
What?
A lot of coins.
There you go.
Well, before you give it to
Yes.
me, I need you to do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, this isn't illegal. I actually used to work for a bank, and that's what I did before I was an illusionist. I was a banker.
That's how
They didn't
you
let me in
became
the
one.
vault.
It's not healthy
No, exactly.
for the brain.
So if you could take that and actually sign your name as big as you can on the bill.
Really?
really big. Don't worry, again, like I said, it's
I
not
don't know if
illegal.
I want to. Okay, I'm
said
going to
it's
sign
okay,
a different
he's
name.
You don't have to
All
do it that big,
responsibility.
actually. You can just sign it, you know,
I'm going to
small,
sign a
so
different
that-
name, too.
a different name.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. If you have more than one name.
These people with these caps, you can't trust them.
Okay, done.
All right, so if you could show the camera your signature.
Good idea. There it is. See the signature, right
there it is, yeah.
Right
Now,
there.
underneath your signature, there's still some space. So what I'd like you to do is write your credit card number, okay? Date of expiry.
I don't think he can even get a credit. No,
Do you,
No.
do you accept future credit cards?
Future credit cards? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'll have to. I don't have my wallet.
Fine. Okay, now I have some. If I can take the marker back from you first,
Oh,
actually.
the marker? Oh, yeah.
There we
marker.
go. And I have in my pocket right here. This is for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is?
It looks like a line.
That's right. It's a lime. Keep it safe, okay?
Yes.
Now, if you don't mind, can I borrow the bill for just a couple
Absolutely.
seconds? Sorry. Now, I'll show you something with this bill. Now, they say that you can only fold a piece of paper no matter how big or how small it is. A maximum of, does anybody know?
No.
7 times.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to try to beat that record. I'm actually going to try to double it. So, double 7, 22 times. We're going to try and fold this 22
One.
times.
That's 1,
1,
2.
2, 2. Here we go. 3. Where has more signature? More signature on that side. Here we go. 4. Wow, this is going to be harder than I thought. 4. 4.5. 4. Okay, you know what? I'm not a professional paper folder. I'm a professional illusionist. We'll keep it at 4. You still see part of your signature
Yes,
right
I
there?
do, Rob.
There it is. We're just going to grab that, put it inside the closed fist like that. I'm just going to push it in, push, push. And there we go. Thank you very much.
You just made $5.
Sorry? I didn't make it. That was a
That's
fair
why I gave
transaction.
him the 5, not the 10.
I told you I had coins, Hugh.
It,
Check your wallet.
no, it was a fair transaction. Are you upset you spent
Oh,
$5
that's
on
right,
a lime?
A line. Well,
Listen, you
it's
should see my car. That's a lemon. I paid way more than $10 for that
I
garbage.
tell you, I've had worse deals than this.
It's true. I can believe it. No, I'm joking. Now, I'm not going to actually steal your $5 bill and give you a lime in return for it. But like I said, I used to work for a bank. And do you know what a banker does when they take your money? They give you something in return. Fees.
Right. I
No,
know.
I'm joking. They give you interest. So I'm going to actually give you back that 5 with interest. But not now. It's got to accrue. Yeah.
Okay.
So anything next?
Well, we absorbed that one. What else is going on?
What's going on? Well, I'm actually planning a theater show that's going to be going on in November. Theater to be announced. That
Okay.
should be a little bit fun. But right now, actually, the web series that you saw the trailer for, it's actually, I just finished the first season, so there are 18 episodes out. They're all on YouTube right now. They're really short, professionally edited. The guy who helped me out was really great. And the second season will be coming out in about a month or so. So we're going to keep that rolling and going because it's fun, right?
Well, that's great. Well, where do people go to get that web series?
That web series is on YouTube, so everything, as long as you remember Revel Magic, REVELMAGIC, you'll remember everything. So my website is revelmagic.com, youtube.com/revelmagic, facebook.com/revelmagic, twitter.com/revelmagic. Not Playboy yet, I'm working on that one, but it should be soon. I'm getting in the, no, I'm joking. But those are the ones. And if you want to call me, it's 1-888-REVEL-88. I don't know why I said 8, but it was 8.
Probably it's a lucky number in Chinese.
It is, you're right. It's like infinity money, right? Or something.
Right.
She's got 8s on her ears. I can see it. It looks sort of like that, your earrings. Yeah,
right.
very cool. Yeah, I actually have this. See, people think I'm conceited because I wear a shirt that says "Born to Perform," but I think I was, right? Yeah. And I actually got it in New York. It's cool. I don't. It's a random tidbit of information. No, no, I didn't. No, I didn't get this one in New York. Wait, you can. I think. Wait, can I stand for this one again? Yeah. Are we gonna?
We're gonna make you shrink
Yes,
again.
we are going to.
Because I didn't get
do
this
one
in
of
New
these.
York. I don't think I really did. I'm not sure. No, I got the other one in New York. Yeah, that's right. I actually, this is the one I got in New York. I forgot about that. Yeah. But I remember, I bought this in Canada and it says New York City. No, it was the other one that I got. It was the green one that I got in New York. Yeah, that's the one, the green one that I got in New York. Whoa. Yeah, this one. Yeah, see? Born lucky, even though that's completely incorrect.
Well,
I agree with that.
Maybe one of the 3 kinds of luck, and it's a magic
3?
shirt because you can see right through
That's
you,
awesome.
Rob.
You can see right. Yeah, it's green.
See, we got our own little magic here too.
At least you see the spade. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, listen, Rob, we don't have a lot of time left. But we want to make sure we get everything. We want to tell people how to get in touch and stuff, and I would like the $5 back.
Okay, I'll give you the $5
I got the line here.
back
Do you need
first.
the line?
Yes, I do need the line.
Okay.
And I have in my pocket. No, not that one. Hold on a second. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I had it somewhere here. I forgot where I put it. Oh no, it's. There we go. There we go. This is actually a New York City credit card. Swipe. Thanks for the money. ATM. No. Okay. So we've got knife, lime. It's gonna be wow, you can't see. Well, it's okay. So knife, lime. I'm just gonna take the lime, cut it right here in the center, cut it all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Now, if you can do me a favor, don't pull. Twist the top of the lime. Twist the top. Yeah, keep twisting. Keep twisting. Keep. That's not a seed in there. Is that a seed? No, it's
It
not.
looks like it might be.
That's the kind of trees I wanna be growing.
$5
Do you wanna take that out?
Bill. And yes, it's the $5 bill, and
Is
Now
it the one
cleansed.
that you signed?
it's the one I signed, and it is covered in lime juice.
In lime juice, that's right. Yeah. That's your
Now,
interest.
Rob, I don't know how you do that. But, that is
Well, I didn't want to sell you a lime that's worth like 20 cents. Well, sometimes 50 cents.
that is pretty awesome.
It depends on whether you go to Metro or No Frills. Because Metro, they're open 24/7. They've got to charge a premium. No Frills, there's no frills, right?
That's awesome. I
Amazing.
really have no idea how you did
That
that.
was
Me
super
neither. I
awesome.
blacked
It's
out.
wet.
Come on.
It is lime juice covered.
And the lime is not cut into from any other
No.
location.
And it's
Now you believe it. Money does grow on trees.
It
Apparently
does.
lime trees.
Lime trees.
see, I know. Why can't you just keep doing this all day and reproduce new money? all the
Yeah.
time?
We'll go.
Turn it
We'll
into
make a
100.
stop at the bank. Then we'll make a stop at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And we'll be good to go for at least 6 years.
Okay, Rob.
Yep.
Sounds like a
Rob's
plan.
gonna be our man.
Rob, this has been awesome. So you got the show coming up in November, and anything? locally coming up in the near term that people can?
Well, there are a lot of smaller events that I do at nightclubs and stuff like that. I'm actually working something tomorrow. I don't remember where it is. It's I could tell you right. There's so many things on the go.
Yeah.
But if you want to take a look, the best way is through my Facebook, because on Facebook I constantly, every public event I have, I post it on Facebook. So for example, on June the 8th, I'm performing at a talent show called Spectra, and I need audience votes. I've been going on and on. This is going to be the third time that I'm performing to get to the Grand Slam. There are a ton of little events that I perform here and there that are public. But in the new year, oh sorry, it is the new year. In the new school year, I'll be performing, well, it could be an old year too. I mean, it's sort of old. Anyways, in the new school year, I'll be performing at elementary schools and high schools all over, doing an anti-bullying campaign, because that's, I noticed that that's a very, very big problem within schools right now, and I was one of those kids who was bullied, and Magics was one of those ways that I got out of it. Type of thing. You know, maybe I could put one over on them.
Maybe you could take one of the bullies and saw him in half.
Yeah, that could be possible. Yeah, but that would be like a negative, you know, it would be counterproductive, because we'd be like, hey, bully, stop bullying. Well, I cut you in half.
It's funny when we joke about it.
That's true.
No, but that's awesome, and I think even if those are documented, to have that kind of thing on YouTube as well for parents to share would be brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Thank you for coming. That was really fun.
Absolutely. And so again, as you mentioned, people can get and stay in touch with you at rebelmagic.com, youtube.com/rebelmagic, or on your Facebook.
Yes. And twitter.com/rebelmagic.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, thanks for doing this today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Did you say, oh my God, you don't have to call me that. You can call me Rob. They just keep coming.
All right. Okay. So I guess that's it for the show.
That's
Erin.
it. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Got to do this again sometime soon.
Yes.
On a
you always
Wednesday.
twist my arm.
Okay, so we're going to go play some more Kojo and say thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see y'all tomorrow for more Liquid Lunch right here on thatchannel.com.
Take care. Well,
when I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. We fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. We're condemned by the ones who cause us pain and misery. You look across the board and there's last hope for our children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? The locked up brother says they take it to political office. Ghetto lands, insurance for their safety. You see single parents living on the short end of the living wage. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. The times need to change. We have heard enough. We don't need them stealing from our future. Lord knows they have stolen from our past, and they continue to keep a stronger hold on our liberties. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Ghana. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Nigeria. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Morocco. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Somalia. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Kenya. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Zimbabwe. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Mozambique. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Ethiopia. When I say Africa, you say stand up, causes pain and misery. You look across the board and it's last hope for our children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? The locked up brother says they take it to political office. Ghetto lands, insurance for their safety. You see single parents living on the short end of the living wage. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. The times need to change. We have heard enough. We don't need them stealing from our future. Lord knows they have stolen from our past, and they continue to keep a stronger hold on our liberties. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Ghana. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Nigeria. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Morocco. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Somalia. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Kenya. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Zimbabwe. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Mozambique. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Ethiopia. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. We fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. We're condemned by the ones who cause us pain and misery. You look across the board and it's last hope for our children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? The locked up brother says they take it to political office. Ghetto lands, insurance for their safety. You see single parents living on the short end of the living wage. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. The times need to change. We have heard enough. We don't need them stealing from our future. Lord knows they have stolen from our past, and they continue to keep a stronger hold on our liberties. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Ghana. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Nigeria. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Morocco. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Somalia. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Kenya. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Zimbabwe. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Mozambique. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Ethiopia. Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Blood Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. We fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. We're condemned by the ones who cause us pain and misery. You look across the board and it's last hope for our children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? The locked up brother says they take it to political office. Ghetto lands, insurance for their safety. You see single parents living on the short end of the living wage. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. The times need to change. We have heard enough. We don't need them stealing from our future. Lord knows they have stolen from our past, and they continue to keep a stronger hold on our liberties. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Ghana. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Nigeria. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Morocco. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Somalia. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Kenya. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Zimbabwe. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Mozambique. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Ethiopia. Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Bloodshed tears falling from the leaders of our homeland. We fought for love, a revolution full of uncertainties. We're condemned by the ones who cause us pain and misery. You look across the board and it's last hope for our children. How can the color of one man determine his fate? The locked up brother says they take it to political office. Ghetto lands, insurance for their safety. You see single parents living on the short end of the living wage. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. The times need to change. We have heard enough. We don't need them stealing from our future. Lord knows they have stolen from our past, and they continue to keep a stronger hold on our liberties. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Ghana. When I say Africa, you say stand up, Africa. Nigeria. When I say Africa, you say stand